Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I had a request to make a video about adding condiments for a pasta. Example like sauces, protein, and pasta type. If you have a question, please go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Or better yet, join our fantastic Facebook community where you can interact with myself and many other hospitality enthusiasts and get answers to all of your questions. It's open and free to join for everybody, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below. And really quick, I wanted to remind you guys about our online learning platform. You can find training and support for Micro Simphony at simsupport.online. I'll leave a link to it in the description below and a coupon code as a special thank you. And with that, let's get back to the video. Since this is a more complicated menu items, I wrote a couple of notes here on my notepad. So we're going to have an item called build your own pasta, or you can call it custom pasta or whatever you like, with a base price of $20. And this is going to have multiple prompts. So we're going to have a prompt for the pasta type, sauce type, and the protein type. So this is going to be 3 different condiment groups. Now, the order that you add these in is going to matter because that's the order that they're going to pop up on the screen. So be careful how you add them in the beginning. And if you need to change the order up a little bit, you can go ahead and do that. Now, additionally, for the protein type, if we do add chicken, we're going to have a surcharge of $4, $8 for salmon, and $8 for shrimp. And then we also have a plain pasta type, which we can just leave it at the base $20. So let's jump to MC and see how we would do that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to work here at the enterprise level. But if your menu items are defined at the property level or the RVC level, then go ahead and click on the level that you need to. And what we're going to do first is go ahead and create a menu item class. So the modules that we're going to be working with are menu item maintenance and menu item classes. I'm going to open classes first. And what we need to do here, kind of look at where we have the different classes. So the way I have them defined is my regular food items are here. I have some combo meals, and then I have food with requirements. So these are different food items that have required condiments. So I have my meat temperatures here and some omelet toppings and things like that. So this is the area that I want to add it in. You don't want to add your menu item class, whichever. So if I click just the regular insert here, it's going to try and put it at number 1. But this is going to make kind of a mess in your database and you want to keep things organized. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select one of these. So kind of take a look at where I have everything. Looks like the first items just have one requirement. So 2001, 2005, etc. And then I have a couple ones that have multiple requirements. So this one in the 2500 range has a requirement for temperature and egg style, and this one has temperature and cheese. So I'll probably go here since I'm going to have 3 requirements. Remember, we're going to do pasta type, sauce type, and protein type. So this one will actually have 3. So I can click insert here. And then I'm going to say added after the selected entry, and I'm going to use a template. So I'm going to use one of these as a template. And for the record name, now you can name this whatever you like. I'm going to name mine build your own pasta. So BYO pasta, and then click OK. So now that I have my item here, I'm going to double click it to open it in a detailed view. And we're going to go through the tabs really quick. So for tax class, it's going to have already the food tax. And this is why I use the template, because a lot of these will already be configured. So everything else looks good. Sales itemizer food. Yes, this is allowed to add gratuity. Everything good. Check your print class here. Most likely you're going to have it go to the pasta station. So if you have expo and pasta, then just send it there. Ours would be like expo and saute. And then I'm going to go to the options section. Now, all of these options here should already be defined correctly because I copied the temperature and cheese one. But these are the options that I have: 7, 8, 12, 18, 26, 27, 31, 38, and I can scroll down. I don't have anything else anymore. Now, the main area that we're going to be working in is going to be in the condiment group area. So because I copied that template, right now it's requesting condiment group number 1 and 13. So the first thing I want to do is uncheck that so I don't have a mix up with the other ones. So now I don't have any condiment group selected. I can go ahead and click a quick save. And the next thing we're going to do, since we're going to create brand new condiment groups, we're going to have to claim a couple of positions here. So again, we're going to have pasta type as a position, sauce type, and then protein type. So I need an area where I can have like 3 empty spaces. So this one, number 8 and 9, I have 2 empty spaces here. I could probably push it in here, but I can probably just go somewhere around, maybe we can go at number 15, 16 and 17. So I can have these 3. Now notice that I can add the name here because this is not where we edit the name. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this little arrow, and this arrow is a drill down functionality into the condiment group names. Now condiment group names are actually found here in the descriptors tab, but I like to use this little arrow because it will take me there directly. So what we're going to do here is, like I said, we're going to claim positions 15, 16 and 17. So here I'm going to do pasta type. And then the next one is going to be my sauce type. So all I'm doing here is giving them a name. And when I give them a name, I'm kind of claiming those positions for the future. So nobody will use it. So it's not going to create any miscommunication where different items go. So protein type. And then once we're done with this, we can go ahead and just save. And we can close the condiment group names. Now, when we come back into our menu item class, you're going to notice that the names are not here. And that's because this module was already open, so it didn't acknowledge the changes. So all we have to do is click a quick refresh. And now we have the items here. So pasta type, sauce type, and protein type. Since this is the menu item class that will be attached to the menu item itself, we're going to have to require certain condiment groups. So the way these condiment groups work is the requirements here at the top, this will be attached to the menu item. And since we're requiring them, we'll also make sure that they are allowed, because if you try to push one of the condiments and they are not allowed, this is the allowed section here, then it's just going to say condiment not allowed for this menu item. So basically the menu item will require the condiment group, and then we're also going to have to create condiment memberships where we're going to check these boxes here, and we're going to do that next. So basically now we have our menu item with the 3 required condiment groups, and we can also visit the force condiment area. And we're going to take a look at what we have here. So we have a minimum of 1 condiment and a maximum of 1. So that means they can only select one of them. Now, if you allow multiple, then you can change the maximum here. Or if you want to allow them to bypass one of them. So for example, if you don't want a plain option, what I have for my pasta is I created an option called plain. So if they don't want any protein in it, they can just push this button. But alternatively, you can remove this and then just have them skip the step. So what you want to do in that situation is you want to select that one and hit 0. So minimum 0, maximum 1. Or who knows, if you allow 2 protein, then you can do maximum 2. So for right now, I'm going to leave mine for 1 to 1 just to make things simple, because the vast majority of the people are just going to get 1 protein type. And if there's an odd exception, they can just open food it and send it to the kitchen. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and save. Next up, we're going to have to add the condiment memberships. So my condiment memberships are here in this bottom section. And if we take a look again at our condiment groups, remember we claimed condiment group 15, 16, and 17. So if you take a look at the condiment member area here, I actually have them in the 5000 section. But for example, 5011 is assigned to group 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add them at position 5015, 5016, and 17. And again, I'm doing this just to keep my database clean. If you start adding stuff all over the place, then it's going to be really difficult to know what is what. So what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to insert a new record. And again, I'm going to send it to position 5015. And the 15 is because I'm using condiment group 15. That's the 15. That's where that comes from. And then I'm going to use a template again, and I'm going to keep the same naming scheme. So it's capital M for modifier, and then there's a dash, and then this is going to be my pasta type. And then I'm going to click OK. So now my new condiment has been added. So we're going to go to the general again. So everything else, since I use the template, everything else should be good here. The print class should be correct, and so should the option bits. If you want to take a look at my option bits, these are the ones that I'm using: 2, 7, 8, 12, 13, 18, 26, 27, 38, and that's it. So now we'll go to the condiment groups. So again, we're not going to check the boxes here in the required and allowed, but we are going to do condiment memberships. So my condiment membership 5015 and pasta type will be member of condiment group 15. So I selected the box for 15. And next up, all I have to do is click a quick save and then insert a new one. So this one will go to 16. Again, I'm going to use a template. So I'm going to say M for modifier, and this is the sauce type. So this is my second membership. And I don't have to check these again because I already know they're good. Uncheck number 15, check number 16. So if you click on 15 here, it's 15 from here. And then number 16 goes to number 16. Save again. Insert a new record, add number 17. And this one will be called M protein type. Click OK. And now I'm on 17, uncheck 16, and this gets automatically checked again because I'm using that template. So it basically copies all the information from the one above, but basically I uncheck it and then check number 17. So I'm going to double check everything again. 15 is connected to 15, 16 is connected to 16, and 17 connected to 17. And my build your own pasta requires all three. And again, this is what I was mentioning about that particular order. So the pasta type is going to be the first one, the sauce type will be the second prompt, and the protein type will be the third prompt. So we're pretty much done here with condiment groups. The only thing that we can do with this other condiment, because we do have this protein type is a charged modifier, what we have to double check here is that it has the priced mods print class. So the other ones are not charged and they're not going to show up on the check. So the sauce type is just a regular modifier, is only going to print in the kitchen, but the protein type is a priced modifier. So you should have a print class either called priced modifier or dollar modifier or something like that. And this will print on the guest check. That's why we're changing this print class here, because if you don't add this, then, you know, the guest will not know what they're paying for. Their check is going to look like build your own pasta, $20, total $24. And they're going to be like, where's this $4 coming from? Well, it's from the chicken, but if it doesn't print on the guest check, it's going to look really weird. So we're pretty good with the menu item classes. I'm going to go back to my home screen and then open menu item maintenance. And you can click a quick search to populate your database. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a slot where we're going to add our main menu item. So this is going to be our build your own pasta. I have my breakfast entrees here, breakfast sides, salads, soups, and you see I have these kind of star sushi. So these are like my main sections. I don't want to add my pasta alongside my sushi or like my breakfast items unless it is a breakfast item, of course. Let's see, entrees. This is where I have my main courses. So this is where I'm going to add my new pasta. So once you found the section where your new menu item will be, select the last one on the bottom. You see how I have some space here between 7,000 and 8,000. So I'm going to add it in this particular section again to keep the database organized. And I'm going to click insert. And then I'm going to say it will go to record number 7025. So that is correct. For the drop down, I'm going to add master record from template. And then for the name here, I'm going to enter build your own pasta. And then for the price, we said this is going to be priced at $20. So the base item will be $20. And then we're going to have some price modifiers here. Okay, so I'm going to edit this price. $20. And then it does have the wrong menu item class, but no worries, we will change that later. Okay, so now my record has been added successfully. Add another one. I'm going to say no. I just have this one to add. And then I'm going to go and take a look at the configuration really quick. So this is a food item is correct. Family group entree is correct. Sprint group 1 is correct. Next, we'll jump to the definition records. Scroll up a little bit here. And then we're going to take a look, build your own pasta. And then for menu item class, what we need to do is we need to select that new menu item class that we created. So BYO pasta. So the menu item class is what decides if this particular menu item requires any condiments, where it prints, how it behaves, and everything else like that. So that's why we created this new menu item class to require all of our pasta condiments. So I'm going to click OK. And then we can take a look at everything else. So the main level is set to FF. That means that all the options are selected. That is good. The sub level is correct. Now this does appear on a screen lookup. So I'm using SLU screen lookup. So it does go to the entree section, which is where I want it to be. If you're not using screen lookups, you can manually hard code it on the screen. There's nothing else in here that I need to check. All I have to do is click save. And now we're going to jump to the price section, but we already set the price. It is set at $20. So it's all good to go. Everything else is good. It's acting on all levels. Everything else looks fine. So now that we have our main menu item added, we need to add our condiments. So what we can do is we can scroll through the database and find the condiments. What we can also do is click the little find binoculars here, or use Control F on your keyboard. As a shortcut to find, we're going to search by name, and I'm going to look for group. You can also look for, yours might be named condiments or modifiers or things like that. So I just kind of did a quick search to find myself in the main condiment section. So if you take a look at here, I have required condiments. This is where I want to be. So this is just below my retail stuff. So now I'm taking a look at the group. So group 1 is meat temp. And it is in the 100,000 section. So I have 100,001 is group 1, 105,000 is group 5. So if you take a look at here, I left a lot of space between group 1 and 5. And if we see this here in the condiment section, you see these are all the empty spaces when I add those. So 2, 3, and 4, there's space here in the menu item maintenance as well to add them in the future. So what we need to do is kind of scroll back down. And we're going to find the slot for condiment group 15. So remember, we're adding pasta type, sauce type, and protein type at section 15, 16, and 17. Now, it might sound like I'm overdoing this with the organization stuff, but trust me, over the years, adding a lot of menu items and condiments and things like that, if you're not careful, the database will become an absolute mess and you're not going to know where anything is. So what I have here is 1. So this is the 100,000 section, which is for condiments, and then is 13 is going to be for group 13. So what I need to add is group 15 because I'm between group 13 and group 30 here. So we're going to insert, and I'm going to tell it to go to 115000. So this is going to be my new header. So I'm adding one of these group number, etc. So I know where I'm at. So group number 15. And this group again is my pasta type. And then I'm going to click OK. So now that got added. So you see here in section 115, I have group 15. We need to add 16 as well. So we're going to go to 116000. And this is going to be group 16 sauce type, and then OK. And now I can say yes, so I can add a new one as well. So then 117000, and it's going to be group number 17, and this is the protein type. Okay. So now that I added my headers, so I have my headers here in section 115 group 15, 116 group 16, and 117 group 17. What we need to add are the condiments themselves. So as a template for a condiment, of course, I'm going to select another condiment. I wanted to add a header. I selected a header as a template. I want to add a condiment. I'm going to select another condiment as a template. And this, using the template, is just the easiest way of adding menu items. So you don't have to add all of these little items one by one because it just takes up a lot of time. So we're going to click insert. And again, we're adding a master record from template just like before. And we're going to send it to 115001. So we need to change this position number here. 001. Okay. And then we're going to give it a quick name. So our first pasta will be penne. And then we're going to click OK. And then I'm going to click no, because I want to double check this first one and configure it the way I want it to, and then use this one as a template so I don't have to make changes to all of them. So It is a major group modifier, mods group 10. That is correct. And now we're coming here in to this section. So we're going to take a look at the menu item class is going to be the main thing that I want to change. So we're going to go to the ones that we created. So these are the ones with M modifier. So since this is going to be one of the pastas, this is going to go to 5015 pasta type and then click OK. Everything else looks good. For the price, this type of pasta is not charged. So the $0 price is okay. Everything is good. We have one of the menu items that is configured perfectly. So now we can use this as a template for everything else. Especially if you're adding a lot of modifiers, this is going to be very helpful to make the first one exactly the way you want it and then copy this one as a template for the next ones. So the next pasta is going to be linguine. And then finally, we have spaghetti. And then we're going to click OK. So we're done with the pastas. I'm going to click no on that one. So you see I have all my 3 pastas here. Now, next up, I'm going to do the same for my sauce type. So I'm going to go to 116001. And then this is going to be my first sauce type. So this is going to be Alfredo sauce. And this one's also going to be not charged. So you can click OK. 116001. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same for this one. Double check that it's configured 100% correctly. So this is still part of pasta type. I need to change it to sauce type since it's gonna be a sauce and this one's not charged. So now that I have a perfect template for this particular group, I'm gonna go ahead and add the next ones as well. And I'll get this done and be right back. Okay, so now I added all of my condiments. So again, we have our pasta type. This is group 15. And then we have our sauce type. This is going to be our sauce type. And then we have group 17 here for protein type. So we're going to double check these really quick. They're all modifiers and they're all in the mods category. The report group is okay. Next, let's go to the definition records really quick. So we have group 15 here. And all of these pasta types are part of the menu item class M pasta type. All of the sauce types are part of M sauce type. And all of the protein are part of M protein type. They're all enabled. They don't appear on a slew because these are going to be forced modifiers. Next, we're going to check the price really quick. So we have these are uncharged, uncharged. Then we have these which are charged. So remember we had plain, no charge, charge for chicken, $4, and then $8 for salmon and shrimp. So we have $4 for chicken and $8 for salmon and shrimp. Now, going back to the definition section, the way we have ours defined here, because we, in our menu item classes, for the protein type, we set that all these condiments will be priced. So that means that all of the condiments in this group will appear, including plain. So if you don't mind the fact that you're going to see plain, so people are going to see build your own pasta and then underneath it's just going to say plain, then if that's okay, you can just leave it the way it is. Now, if you want only to appear when you have chicken, salmon, or shrimp, we can do it in a different way. So we can go back to our menu item classes and leave these ones as regular modifiers. So that means they are not going to print. The menu item class will not force them to print. So what we can do in that case is make only the ones that we want to print individually print. So we would want the chicken, salmon, and shrimp to print. So here we have in the definition section, we have this print class override. So right now it's saying it's just using the menu item class setting, but what we can do is we can tell it to override this and use $mods instead for all of these, because we want them to show. So in this situation, because we only have these three, only these three will print on the guest check and plain will not print. It's a more, it's going to look better, less complaints from the guest or asking you what plain means or something like that. Although if one of the options on the pasta says plain, then it shouldn't be too many questions. But I wanted to show you both ways and let you decide which one you want to choose. So you can either have the print class set at the header section or like the menu item class, or you can just individually change it. And this works also for menu items as well, of course. So now the only thing we have left is to go ahead and test. And before we go to the workstation and take a look at that, if you guys don't mind, please leave this video a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me understand which videos you like and which ones you don't like, and also helps grow the channel. So thank you very much. And here we are at the workstation, and I'm going to click a quick database update here just to make sure I have all of the latest information. And I'm going to go ahead and sign in. I'm going to begin a test tab just to test this out. And again, we're going to go into our entree section because that's where we put it on the screen lookup. And we're going to look for build your own pasta. So there it is here. And I'm going to put this on seat position 1. And now we have our pop-up condiments. So again, we added in our particular order: pasta type, sauce type, protein type. So for my first pasta, I'm going to choose linguine, and then I'm going to have Alfredo sauce, and then I'm going to select chicken. So the system behaved perfectly. We have our pasta here for $20, and then linguine Alfredo chicken. And then this is for $4, totaling up to $24. And everything works as expected. So our pasta is good to go. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.